Yeah, okay, so public schools, you don't get the experiences we had, like making a flamethrower in janitor's closet out of WD-40s and PVC
And a lighter.
and a lighter. All right. 3 sheets to the wind, fellas. It's your guys, Eli,
Must.
Nick, and Gus.
And gals.
And we got Vinny still
Yo.
for round 2. But all right. We're gonna just talk some funny stories that had happened to us in our lives.
So this one time at band camp, I can't go on, otherwise it's gonna get censored.
So in high school, a good story. We would go into the bathroom and we would try and make an obstacle course out of, like, you'd have to come in, climb up on the wall on the side of the urinal, and then
No, we had to climb up on the toilet.
I thought you started from the
No.
one side.
Yeah, you started from the corner in
Didn't
the
you start
back.
from-
Started from the far stall.
Yeah, on the stall.
Oh,
you
you
climb up
started
the
from the
toilet.
back, and you'd have to climb out.
Yeah, you'd have to climb over.
You'd have
the
to climb
stalls.
out. Basically, floor is lava, starting on the back toilet and not touch it, and get out the door without touching the floor. And we would play. Pump the Jam. If you guys have heard that song,
Oh, yeah.
I'll interject that song. Brief moment of silence for Pump the Jam.
Pump up the jam, pump it up while your feet are
Okay.
stumping.
Nice.
So, and then I would sit there with my flashlight, because we'd shut the lights off too, and I would just strobe light it with my flashlight. And I don't think we ever got caught with that.
No.
Dude, we got away with that.
It was always scary when the door opens. Though.
Dude,
Yeah, it was.
and then it
We
was
were
some little
loud.
kid, and there's just strobe lights and Pump the Jam
Pump
going.
up the jam.
All right.
Yeah, they're like, what in the world? Speaking of school, I got another one. We were hiding this one time at band camp. We were at school. We were hiding in the bathroom, and we popped some of the dodgeballs. You guys remember this? And
Yeah.
we made like spooky masks out of it.
Yeah.
And we were scaring little kids as they would come in the bathroom. And then one of the teachers came and started yelling at the door, and everybody walked out, and I just stayed in there. Because she wouldn't come into the bathroom.
So Gus got away with
I
it.
got away. I didn't get yelled at.
We stayed in there all day.
Yeah.
Dude. We would always in high school we'd always yell like, who's on the crapper. And the one time I walked in and I saw the door was shut, so we would always pound on the door or kick it or whatever. So I went and pounded on the door and yelled, who's on the crapper, and it was my science teacher. Science and math, Mr. Ro. And he's like, and obviously he knew my voice, so he's like, why do you want to know, Eli? And I'm like, oh, it's just something we do. Why? That's weird. And I'm like, well, I don't have a follow-up. I didn't expect the conversation to go this far.
You're right. The Who's on the Crapper started when Cisco, we had him on the podcast. He was taking a crap, and one stall had a broken lock. And so then he was sitting on the pooper. And then my brother Fred walked up to him and yelled, who's on the crapper? And kicked the door open.
Yeah, and it opened and hit his knees.
It slammed into his knees.
Yeah, dude.
Good time.
Dude, it's high school.
Dude, why are there so many funny memories in the bathroom?
Dude,
Because, dude, one time we're all in there around, and Nick's dad, who's the principal, walks in, and me and Eli both run into the same stall.
That's right.
and then Mr. DeVoy looks at me, what, did you have to go that bad, Gus?
I know, he knew.
I was like, no.
He knew. I remember we would always play Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies on our phone. And we would go we'd go into the bathroom and play, and bathroom again. And we'd go in and we'd play in stalls and see who could get a further wave. They were called waves for levels, for those of you who don't know.
For the zombies.
So and they get harder each level, so we'd see who could get further. And the one time I was in the bathroom playing, and I heard the door open, and I thought it was my buddy Fred. And I was like, dude, wave 12, and I had my phone out, and it was my teacher again, Mr. And he's like, give me the phone. And I'm like, no, dude. So he takes my phone. So I go to my locker and I'm like, Fred, I always keep a spare. And I pulled out my iPod and I had it downloaded. Ain't no stopping the grind.
Yeah.
That's how I learned motivation and discipline.
Shut up.
Well, me and Fred would take balloons and put them over the hand dryer. And he would hold them there and then they would explode. I think I still have that video.
Oh, I remember that was loud as crap.
Dude, it sounded like a gunshot.
Yeah, dude, they had those I forget what they're called, like the extreme hand dryers that like way harder than the normal ones.
Yeah, it was like a freaking.
Yeah, dude.
It was like a one of those bouncy house things, but with a really small hole and just send air out. It's like a airline.
We should keep this on the down low, but remember when we would break into school on the weekends to play video games and stuff? Because I found out the one day we had a Christmas program, so this is like two stories. So we had a Christmas program. I needed like notes for the role. It was like a book we were given. We were supposed to read out of the book in the act, and I didn't have them, and I had to run back to school. So I like sped back to school, and then I realized they didn't have a key. So I figured out that my knife would pull down the deadbolt. So I went into school, grabbed my notes, and then after that, every like Saturday, we'd all go and we would like either play video games like zombies in the basement or watch a movie, and we'd buy Doritos Loaders, which I think should be brought back.
Dude,
Those are so good.
Loaders?
They were like
Insane.
Dorito breaded cheese, like hot, like almost like a a cheese nugget, or
Yeah, kind of like a cheese.
and you would
grater.
just bake them, and they had like little Doritos.
Boss.
Oh, dude, I just thought of another one. And then we figured out how to get in, so every Saturday. And then one time Nick was making popcorn upstairs. He did it on a Bunsen burner, dude. He made it on a Bunsen
Dude,
burner.
there are microwaves everywhere.
Dude, and but it was like one you had to cook on a burner, like a stove burner,
yeah,
like the
one-
pan.
The little like tinfoil thing.
So
Yeah.
we forgot about it. We went and set up the stuff in the basement. We come up and we had all the doors shut, so we didn't smell anything. The whole classroom is just filled with smoke. And me and Nick run in there with our shirts over our noses. Nick grabs the pan on fire, runs outside, and throws it in the middle of the parking lot. And we just opened all the windows. It aired out by school on Monday. But there was one time we were in the basement watching Pacific Rim. There was like
Yes,
four of
that's
us in the
great
very
movie.
basement of it. And we heard like the door open. We shut all the lights off. It was like, is anyone down there? And it was like one of our nicest like grade school teachers was there. And we didn't say anything. So she walked down the stairs and we're all just sitting in the dark. And she's like, oh, it's just you guys. But it was a teacher who's going to grade like her school, and she heard us like laughing and whatever in the basement. And we had like food out everywhere. We'd always get these cream pies here, the pecan cream pies. We had like a table of food. Like it was like a full get together.
Did this one time after, where were we? It was me, my brother Henry, and then Vinny.
I was
went-
just about to tell that because
Yeah.
Henry and I went back and did the same thing.
Did
yeah.
you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So one night, I forgot where we were. We decided we went through the window in the back because it didn't have a lock or a screen, or I always kept it unlocked just in case.
Okay.
And so, we opened it up, crawled through there, dude, and we flipped every single desk upside down. in
Every
the
single
entire
classroom.
School.
Every day.
Every
because
class.
it was funny. Except the grade school, because they have all their stuff in there. I don't
okay.
think we touched those.
Yeah.
But
Alright.
like the flat ones that don't have
Yeah.
any kind of compartments, we all flipped over. And then on Monday, was whining, dude, some assholes came to school and flipped every single desk, and I had to help flip them all over. And I was like, oh, really?
Oh, that's weird.
Oh,
that
The
Oh, that's
hardest,
weird.
the hardest thing about that, when something like that happens, is not laughing in the person's face.
Oh, just like for a disclaimer, this is a private school. This isn't like
Yeah, this is
government
a- Yeah,
property or
Dude,
anything.
yeah, okay, so public schools, you don't get the experiences we had, like making a flamethrower in janitor's closet out of WD-40, some PVC,
And a lighter.
and a lighter. I wish I had those videos yet. Those are some
It's
of
so
the
funny.
greatest times. And like when we had a sub teacher, we were outside burning Malachi's pencil case with the flamethrower, and I had to like beat the teacher outside so we didn't get written up or whatever. So I ran out and I was like, dude, she's coming, we gotta get inside. And then I got written up too because she was right on my tail, and we all got written up for that. And even though I was warning her,
I got suspended.
Didn't
for
you
that.
get it? Yeah, I was gonna say.
You got
That was my
suspended?
mom.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
your mom. It was his mom.
Me and Moose got suspended, I think.
Yeah, dude, I
Damn.
ran out to tell them like we need to get inside, and we got suspensions. Vinny, you got any good funny stories?
So one time, Henry and I, Henry and I were, I don't remember where we were, but we were driving somewhere, and we like see this like big tent as we're like passing by. Like it looked like a wedding or something. It was like some big event. And it was, like, we like pull over. We're like, oh, let's check this out. So we're like walking up to it, and it's just like this big open tent, like hundreds of people in there. And we see like a bar, and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna go up and ask for some beers. And he's like, oh yeah, dude, let's do it. And so I'm like, I was scared shitless, and I'm like hyping myself
When
up,
was
like, all
this?
right, I don't know, probably like 4 or 3 years ago.
Oh, okay.
And so
So
I'm like,
you're like 16.
yeah, I'm like 16, but I'm like hyping myself up. I'm like, all right, I got this. I just gotta go ask for a beer at Casual. So I walk up to the bar, and I'm like looking at the list of beers, and I think it was some weird like Miller Lite thing. I'm like, yeah, let me get 2 of those. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just getting them for somebody else, you know. So I like pay my money. He's like, eager. He hands them to me. Well, the thing is, he like, yeah, like I'm like, I don't remember what they're called, but he goes like, I was like, it's a Miller Lite something. He's like, Miller. He's like, that you want that one? I was like, yeah. And he's like, goes gets them for me. I'm like, I grab them at Casual, walk out. I'm like, yes, dude, I got these 2 beers. Let's go. So Henry and I were by the car, and we're like, dude, oh, it's so sick. Can't believe we just got these beers. So we're like, dude, let's shotgun them. So we shotgun the beers. We're done. We're like, dude, that tasted so bad. What's wrong with you? Look at them, non-alcoholic.
Oh,
Did all that work
You got
just to
screwed
get
over.
Yeah.
That's great.
Dude, speaking of non-alcoholic beer, me, Malachi, Vinny, and
Oh
Henry.
yeah.
Up north, we have a cabin up north. Our family
Oh,
does,
man.
and
Great.
we went up there and we went out into the woods to go coyote
Well, so
hunting.
we're like, I was like
I was-
14. I was 14. We were really
yeah,
young.
so I was probably 16.
so-
Malachi was probably 17
so-
then, and
we're like, dude, let's sneak some alcohol and
we
go out in
stuff
the
our
woods.
stuff our
Stuff
backpacks
the
full of
backpack
alcohol.
full,
I
and-
I had somebody buy me a bottle of Bacardi, Dragonberry I think it was, and then Malachi grabs a bunch of beer and stuffs them in his backpack. You know, we're doing it really quick so nobody catches us, and then we quick head out. So then we find a little spot into the woods, and then we start drinking or whatever. Was it like, you guys got like a couple beers in, and like,
Malachi
I'm
and
not
Henry,
feeling anything.
yeah.
And then Malachi looks at the can, and it says non-alcoholic. And he grabbed like a 30 non-alcoholic beers. So then they had to just drink all of my Bacardi. I was like, you
Were you there the one time me and Malachi, we would drink those Red's Apple Ales. That's like when we first could get beer, we found out that there was better tasting beer than like Pabst Blue Ribbon and stuff.
Oh,
So-
Pabst is so
we found Red's Apple Ale, and they hit
Oh,
pretty
yeah,
hard. They're like
yeah.
8%, I think.
Yeah,
And
it's kinda like
we would
this.
just drink Red's Apple Ale like it was
Yeah.
water. And me and Malachi like took our shirts off and we're running around Hartford playing military, and we were hiding around corners and like laying in the grass when a car came. It was awesome, dude. That, like high
Dude, I
school-
remember
Yeah.
all the dumb shit we used to do at Cisco's house.
Oh.
Like, we'd run around the neighborhood and shit.
Yeah, dude.
Never shirtless, though.
Well,
I
me
think
and
I did that.
Malachi did. Well, I don't know if I was shirtless. Malachi definitely was. He was hardcore, and we ended up in the Marines, so all is well.
We were at Cisco's house, and I went walking through that tree line, you know? And I went like 2 houses down, and somebody was having a party, and I was hiding in a bush listening. And then I was like, should I go say hi? No, probably not.
Yeah.
That's probably a dumb idea. So then I snuck my way back. Nobody even knew that I laughed either.
Well, you never know where anyone is. Dude, I fell asleep on the crapper there. I mean, yeah.
Dude, do you remember when we were running for the toilet? We
Oh,
both
yeah.
went bolting it upstairs, running for the toilet, and then Cisco's mom came out. Go to bed!
We were like laying. Did you
Yeah,
remember? We were laying on like the floor because we heard the door open. I remember the first time Fred got drunk, and I never really got drunk yet, but Fred, I was out on a date with my wife now, but we were.
You guys are married?
Yeah, we are married, actually. He like ran at me with like a hot poker, and I'm like, dude, this drunk stuff ain't for me.
Hot poker?
Yeah, like he had like a fire poker in the fire, and it was just glowing, and he was running at me trying to stick it in my face, and I'm like, oh, I'll never get behind this.
Oh yeah,
And here we are.
dude.
I
Dude,
used
like
to be like
Nick
that.
was like that too.
I'm never drinking alcohol.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
dude.
would never drink, and I'll look at him.
Yeah, dude. I
Can
don't know.
soak.
That was Fred's fault.
His fruit's full.
Dude, it is Fred's fault. He makes it look so fun.
He had the brisk. Remember that brisk tea?
Oh yeah.
He had the brisk lemonade, and then he had Tito's in there.
Oh,
He drank like half the bottle, and he's like, "You gotta try some of this stuff." And I drank like the other half, and I was wasted.
Yeah, dude. The first
Yeah,
time's always
first
the
time.
worst too, because
Yeah.
I was hunting and I got the first deer. This is like when I want to say 12.
Yeah.
But I got the first deer, and so their rule up north at the hunting camp is the first deer gets the first shot, and they would get Crown Apple, which is really good, and they would mix it with Captain, and or Crown Apple with Coke, and they mixed it that way because I wasn't supposed to have like a straight shot, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, this stuff's good, and then I started like feeling like funny, you know,
Yeah.
laughing and whatever, stupid, and. So I'm just sitting there all watching like the Wedding Crashers. I was sitting at the bar watching the movie, just mixing drinks the way I wanted them, half and half, 3/4 and a quarter, and I'm just like, dude. At the end of the night, I drank 8 of them, like full glasses,
gosh.
and I like went down. I'm like, I'm gonna get to bed, and I'm laughing, and I brushed my teeth, and I smacked my head on the sink because I was spinning so hard. And they were all college students at the
They're all
time,
laughing
so
at
they
you.
kind of knew like what I was doing. And one guy walked down. They were all really cool, and he's like, "Dude, how many did you have?" And I was
8.
like, 8. And he's like, "Oh my gosh, dude." He's like, "Lay down. I'm gonna get you a garbage can." And I kid you
What's
not,
that for?
like 4 hours of puking that night.
Oh.
And I'm not kidding you. It was terrible. Just and then my uncle woke me up the next morning, and he's like, "You have to go back out." I'm like, "I already got it, dear. Just let me sleep." And he's like, "You have to learn from life and mistakes." I'm like, "No, I don't."
Dude, I think the first time I got drunk, I was like, it was hunting. It was hunting season. I think I was 13 or 14.
And
I
we
don't
never
remember.
carry guns while we're drunk, right?
No.
No.
I was 13 or 14. It was Simon that got me drunk. And then we were playing Battlefront 2,
Oh,
the
yeah.
original one. And I remember, like, I didn't feel anything. And then I started feeling dizzy in my head. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And
Yeah.
I started, like, spinning my head like this. And they're all laughing at me. And then I got all pissed off, Simon's wife.
Yeah.
Because she was, like, sleeping up there for whatever reason. We were upstairs in the barn. Or the garage,
Yeah.
whatever. And then she left all pissed off. Whatever, and Simon went down there, and whatever came back up, and then I started crying because I thought I made him break up, and I felt terrible, and I was crying my eyes off, and then in the morning I was like, no.
Oh, dude, I'm just gonna say a story. Hopefully Malachi doesn't care, but the time he got that grappling hook, and he climbed up on Kmart's roof.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how he did it, but it was him and somebody else.
How do you trust it that much that it landed?
Dude, it was probably off a Wish too.
Yeah, it was probably
You would
something
get like
really
the
cheap.
weirdest stuff.
He
from
really,
the weirdest
he always
websites.
did have the weirdest.
Yeah, he'd
things.
show up with a
Off the
backpack
Wish.
of just everything you could
The
think of.
tactical gear.
Yeah, knives, a plate carrier, like, and run around the
Well, now
neighborhood.
we all have plate carrier.
Yeah. Do you remember when your mom told us not to eat anything because you're gonna have a big dinner, and me and you walked to the gas station and got like Sour Patch Kids, chips, drinks. We were just snacking and playing games, and then she loads our plates up with chili. Dude, me and Nick were so sick because we ate the whole thing because we didn't want her to know we ate before. So we ate like a whole plate. She was like, "You guys want to go get ice cream from Walmart for the family?" So we and Nick go to Walmart and we like both ran to the bathroom and just were for like dude, like half an hour, and then we grabbed ice cream and they were like, "You guys want any ice cream?"
No.
And you're like, "No, dude."
Dude, at Nick's house, I think it was just me and Al. Oh no, Cisco was there too. We were all hanging out, and Nick had a 12-pack of Pepsi underneath his bed, and I drank every single can.
Oh my gosh!
In one night.
Dude, I was so mad about it.
So it was like the 3rd of July, I think. We were driving around in my car.
Oh, that reminds me of
We were
one.
driving around in my car, setting off those Roman candles as we were driving, and we had them at our old teacher's house.
Oh yeah.
And then we drove back to our old school, and we climbed up on the roof. And Nick, if I have the video, I'm gonna put it in here. But we drove to our old school,
You're gonna
and
go to fucking jail.
Nick decided to hold on to it was firework that you're supposed
It
to
was
stick
the
in the ground.
octopus one.
Yeah, an octopus one. And he thought, hey, if you stick it in the ground, it should be the same as holding it. So he's sitting there on the roof holding it, and it goes off, and it's just burning his hand, and he won't let go. And it's just blowing up as like dude's dancing around as this thing's going off. It's just burning.
You have that video?
I should have it somewhere. I'll have to try and find it, but that was
so.
Dude,
that was such a classic.
When we had 4th of July at Uncle Steve's house, so Lily was there, or whatever, and I gave her a mortar. You know, one of those big ones that goes
Yeah.
flying in the air and explodes. I gave her a mortar. I was like, hey, look at this. I quick lit it. And then I handed it to her.
Did she hold it?
No, I was like, throw this as far as you can. And she throws it like 20 feet. And I'm like, everybody run! And then it just...
Fireworks and us, man. Do you remember I drove up to Simon and he lit that smoke grenade under my car and it lit on fire?
And your car started on fire.
Dude, we had to like,
What?
dude, my car, underneath my car,
That was
we were
Fred.
just laughing. It might have been Fred,
might have
but
been
Simon was there. And he lit it up, and all of a sudden you start seeing orange smoke under the car, and I'm like, dude, we gotta put it
Yeah, that
out!
was the Audi.
Yeah,
Was
dude,
it-
my
was
old
it
99 Audi.
Dude, I remember, I wasn't there, but I seen the video when Cisco was working on his mom's van. And then you guys, what did you guys throw under there? Was it firecrackers or was it like an M80? You guys threw it under there while he was working on it, and then it just starts exploding, and he goes, "Oh mother!"
He was so bad. I threw it.
Dude.
It was like one of those little like firecrackers. And it hit his arm and burned his arm.
Oh.
Ag.
Dude, I woke up one morning. We had an apartment that was like really, it was older people that really were, they really wanted everything quiet and such. So one night our buddy would always come over and play our video games, and so we were sick of it. We wanted him to get out. So we would go in Nick's room, and he had the breaker in his room, so we'd always shut off the breaker, then he'd go turn it on and play again. So when he finally left, my buddy Malachi, he ran out the door with one egg and threw it at his car. And that was it. And so at whatever we get home, we go to sleep. I wake up the next morning to a text, "Don't look outside." And I'm like, great. So I look
texted you that?
outside. No, it was from Logan.
Oh.
So I look outside, and mine and his cars, because we were roommates, were just covered in egg. Like, it had to have been 24 each, I think.
Oh.
And I'm like,
Dude,
dude,
when
and
they're
there's
all-
like a
and it was all
cop. There's a
frozen.
cop outside looking at them, and I got a text from my landlord, like, "What is this? Whatever." And I'm like, great, dude. So I go outside. We're sitting there with hot water because it froze overnight.
Oh.
We're sitting there with hot water and like ice scrapers trying to scrape the egg off enough so we could see and go to a car wash.
Yeah.
And dude, there was like an egg in my gas cap. and and I was just livid. And I like went off on the guy because I mean, that's not even a funny
Was
story.
that where
I
it
was-
started?
Yeah, probably. But Logan, like, oh, I thought you guys threw the egg. I was like, it was Malachi, and you egged me and Nick's cars.
Egg
dude.
through one egg.
Oh yeah.
I will
That's
say
hilarious.
Fred was in on that, but I forgive Fred. I mean, we went hard in the paint.
Yeah, we did.
We
Dude, at the
really
shop.
did.
I wasn't there that night, but
I don't think I was either.
we did a lot of dumb stuff at that.
Yeah, dude, we had fun.
It
though.
was so
Like,
cold in there.
Oh yeah, do you remember I bought that little floor heater and we were just sitting in front of it because it would get cold and we
It
had no
was dummy
source of
cold.
heat, and Michael had that gas heater that didn't work.
Yeah,
The
or you would have to
torpedo heater.
smell diesel.
Yeah, where you smell gas the whole night. So I bought that little like
gas.
floor heater from Walmart, and it didn't do jack unless you were right up on it. So
Yeah.
we'd all be huddling by it. We had some fun though. I mean, remember that guy who climbed up the side of the wall? And
Yeah, and then
the
fell.
rafter fell down on him, and for like one of the boards he was climbing on, he was up at the top. Just
Why
fell
did
down.
I
He
remember?
wasn't at the top. I think he was like 3/4.
He was pretty close.
Why did he do that?
I don't know.
Why did any of
I
us
just
do
remember
anything?
looking over and I see him up there. Like, he just falls.
And then Michael would always throw. You'd see Michael with a glass.
Oh yeah, I have a
bottle.
video of him.
Michael would have a
eating the
glass
bottle.
bottle, and he would just, if he saw you, he'd look at you, and you'd be like, "No, dude, it just." And then he'd go through moments of like, "Oh, maybe I should clean that up," and
Yeah.
he'd like go out with a broom. And the next minute. Oh man, those are some good times. But I mean, we could go on and on, but I think we'll
We'll
call her. So that was funny stories. I hope you guys enjoyed. I mean, Vinny's still here, so give his page a shout out or a look, even though he doesn't have
Subscribe.
anything on it. Subscribe to our
Yes,
channel
yes.
mostly.
Yes.
Give us both
Mostly.
subs.
Leave a like.
But, all right.
Yeah, leave a like and a
Yeah, leave a
nasty
like.
comment.
Leave a like, a nasty
Nasty
comment, so I can
comment.
screenshot it when we make it and go back and yell at you
Send
for
us-
it. And then, yeah, 3 sheets to the wind. Signing off.